Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the season finale of TNT's Animal Kingdom after show right here at AFTERBUZZ. So much went down tonight, and it's gonna go down right after this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Wait, this episode's called It's Going Down. Why don't we have that one song? It's going down.
Oh, no, it's called What Have You Done?
What Have You Done?
What Have You Done?
You said it's going down.
I said it's going down after.
Yeah, it's true. Okay.
You know,
I just messed up the intro.
Theme a little bit, whatever.
For those out there, the episode is called What Have You Done? But hey, what's up, guys? I'm your host, Alina Vission. You can follow me on all social media at Alina Vision. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Here we are. Hey,
Miss
guys. Leslie Ambriz here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
What's up, guys? I'm Ben Bateman. You can find me at Ben Bateman Media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. I started one, but I've never used it.
You're gonna get on that.
Now you got that new update.
Now
so
it's
yeah.
all about Instagram stories now. But follow me on the other two if you want to talk about Animal Kingdom. Let's talk about Animal Kingdom.
Yes, let's do it. We
let's
finally
do it.
used the theme song coming in tonight.
What a way to end.
Episode
you know?
10, yep. So what did you guys, I just want to get your opinions. What did you guys think of the season finale, just kind of overall?
Ooh.
Craig is stone cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Hell yeah.
How did he decide to do that? That's a good plan? What? What? Nikki's so stoked.
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
so
this is her
stoked.
dream.
She's like, I'm so
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It's like when you were like nerd in freshman year of high school and like the senior guy hits on you.
Right,
That's
exactly.
what this is like for Nikki.
Exactly. Did you guys see that one coming?
Fully, 100%. Well, because remember early in the season, one of my predictions that she was going to get like passed around the house
right,
and get
that's
addicted
right.
to drugs. Like it was like she was some sort of like, I don't know, something in the house that gets passed around. And I feel like she's now doing drugs.
Just no title.
With like
something.
like the giant
druggiest
dude.
guy of
right.
them all.
And her dad had to see it. It was like everything that I thought was going to happen, and we saw it in the finale.
I was
It's just
surprised like her
sad.
dad didn't say anything. It was Nikki in there, right?
Yeah.
He's
It
too
definitely
scared.
was.
Paul's freaked out. He's an idiot for getting involved with them.
Yeah.
He was stupid.
Because his line, I just want to feel respected. Well, Paul, not gonna happen.
Not in this
gonna
family.
happen.
You're either gonna end up dead or something else.
Exactly.
But respect is not gonna be granted.
Yeah.
Did you guys the entirety of the episode after the whole stuff went down with Jay? Every time they'd cut back to him, keep expecting for like the double cross that he was wearing a wire still.
Yes.
I kept expecting it.
Yes.
I kept expecting like the last bit to see he was gonna like put the picture up. And then it was going to be like, take his shirt off and he was wearing the wire. And you were just be like,
Something where he
I was
totally
expect-
goes
yeah.
against the family.
Exactly, because I mean, I kind of figured when he came back that they were going to concoct some plan.
Right.
He was on their side, but then that last scene where he's just staring at them so intensely.
like stroking the gun.
Yeah, and especially the fact that he was at Alexa's place when she was getting arrested by the cops. It just, all of it seemed kind of like
Right.
a double thing.
Fully, yeah.
Which
but
maybe we'll find out if it is.
I feel like if they were going to
possibly
give us that,
they would've-
that's like too good to not
Yeah.
end the season on. And I don't think they're going to give us that like in the beginning of next season. So like maybe we find out at the end of next season that it was the double cross. But I think that was the opportunity right there.
Right,
If he was
yeah.
on the inside to show us something to get us
Yeah.
thinking.
Right.
So yeah.
Exactly.
It's definitely a season 2, like foreshadowing.
Yes. Cannot wait for season 2. Coming back early 2017.
Yeah, I really think this was a
yes.
good show. I really think that this show did great. I was really happy with the first season.
Me
like
too.
in the end, yeah, I just thought it was awesome.
Me too.
The writing is incredible.
Yeah.
For sure.
The writing was great. I just thought that whole last scene I loved tonight
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah.
Just it was such a buildup of intensity, and you didn't know what each person was thinking.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
You didn't see what they were thinking, but you also saw them in their most comfortable situation.
Right. Yeah.
Which
So
I
true.
really, which kind of threw me off for the next season because you don't know what to expect from them.
Right.
Because it could be like, oh yeah, Craig is hooking up with Nikki, but maybe that'll be just like a 2-second thing, and
Right.
season 2 it's not even acknowledged, you know?
Yeah, could be. I mean, I feel like it's possible. Like we cut back to season 2, and Nikki's like straight up addicted to smack. She's like,
Yeah, for sure.
she's like
She's
really,
gone.
she's like
she
really
can't
in
hang
trouble.
with Craig. She
No.
can't be doing
No.
as much drugs as Craig does.
No,
I don't think
no.
anyone can, really.
Well, except for Ren, because she like
Yes.
died and came back to life.
Unless Nikki becomes like Ren's little apprentice,
Oh my
which
God.
would be weird.
Oh my god.
Things that could
But
go
funny.
down.
I wonder if Ren will come back into the show. I kind of feel like she's done with the Codys. It feels like she's done with Craig.
Could be.
Maybe, I don't know though. She's kind of crazy. He's kind
Right.
of crazy. They've known each other for so long.
Right.
You know, they're both
one of
addicted to
those-
drugs.
Forbidden loves.
See, I kind of think that Craig is doing it to kind of take off Paul and Jay at the same time. I don't think he's really that
Like
interested in
Smurf
her.
told him to do that as like a little
I don't know if
side
Smurf
thing,
told
or
maybe, but it just seems like it's another like dagger in the side of Paul.
Right, definitely.
You know?
Did you feel like a little bit like when Nikki saw Jay and like at the breakfast table and like she's just like in the house now that she like felt a little bad? I sort of thought she felt a little bad. Like she was like, I kind of got my revenge, but now I just feel bad because like
Nah, I
No.
don't
I
think
kind of
so.
think it was
It's
just a little
Nikki.
awkward.
maybe yeah.
Yeah.
She's just full sass.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the sass. Let's get into
So
talking
much
about
sass.
Craig and Darren and their little excursion that landed them in some grease.
Yeah.
Not
Oh, a
cooking
lot
with
of
yeah.
grease, a lot of oil.
A lot of grease.
Dear Lord.
So the money finally moves, and we'll get to why in a second, but we kind of saw them in the truck. We knew it was coming, that the driver
Yeah,
was going
of
to come
course,
back,
of course.
and it was going to be disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
Disaster.
How did you think that they were going to get out of it? Or did you think that...
I figured like something like exactly
Right.
what happened. Like I didn't think they were gonna get caught. It just seemed like that was gonna take the last episode in too weird of a direction if it happened.
Right.
I love the way they've developed. I said this last week, but they did a great job of focusing on each of the relationships between the brothers, and really developing sort of each one in its own way. And I really do like the Darren and Craig relationship.
Me too.
In the end, that became like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
They're both kind of like the screw ups, but they're like sort of like on opposite ends. They just built the characters really well. Craig's super lovable, even though he's like kind of a moron. And Darren's like super lovable. He's got all the sass. I love that he kind of like hated himself, but he's kind of coming around to it. Like people are kind of accepting. Because Craig says like, I don't care, right?
Right.
Yeah. So their relationship was good. I was a big fan of them. in the
Right.
end.
Darren's finally opening up, but with a lot of sass for everyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have we all changed our opinions now by the end of the season on who we think the most handsome Cody is? Because like now we like know the characters.
Oh, we were talking about this before
We
we
were,
were
yeah.
waiting
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you to get here. We're like, wow, casting did a really good job.
I have to say, I was always like totally Craig, Ben
Yeah.
Robson, but Jake Weary,
Yeah.
Darren.
Yes,
Lately,
it's-
when the
Yeah.
confidence went up in his
Yeah.
character, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
He became your
Okay,
favorite?
I see you,
when he was
baby
talking
boy.
about,
I
you
see
know,
you.
putting away for retirement and maybe
Yeah.
running for Congress,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, okay. He knows what he wants to do. But also just the scenes when he's like walking really badass. Like even
Yeah.
when they were walking
Right.
between the trucks, and then even last episode when he just like has a cigarette in his hand, I was like, okay.
yeah, I mean, there's
I've-
a lot.
I've
There's a
changed
lot of
sides.
eye candy in the
Yeah,
show
right.
for sure.
So that's your vote now. Is Darren's
Definitely
is the most
Darren.
handsome of the Codys?
Darren is my
Think,
vote.
Lena?
Yeah, it's between Darren and Craig.
Okay.
Yeah, for
wow,
me.
it's just like the shoe-in.
Yeah.
I'm Craig. I'm Team Craig.
Your team Craig.
Oh,
I'm
it's
all
Team Craig.
Robo Ben. Yeah, big fan of that dude. He's got a good name, you know. Good-
Although when I do hear him speak with the accent, then he
With
shoots
his real
up.
accent.
Yeah,
For
right.
sure.
Yeah.
Anyone with an
Yeah.
accent automatically shoots up.
For
That's
sure,
their
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat. We have Brandon Self saying Craig's not cool anymore. Aw.
Because of Nikki, maybe? Or
Yeah,
what?
I think probably because of Nikki.
You kind of would have loved for Craig to have a little more honor. That was kind of like the
Right.
one thing about him. It kind of definitely brings his character down a notch. You kind of would love to be like, you know what, like this is cool like once, but I can't really have you hanging around here.
Right.
It's gonna mess with my brother, and he lives here. But maybe he's also just kind of like, you know what, Jay, you talk to the cops, so
True.
I think
You
it's
know?
the second one, yeah.
I
you
think
know
it's the second one
you need to be
too.
punished a little bit, right? Grow up, buddy.
So I'm gonna keep her around for just a little bit.
Yep.
And then
And
send
then
her on her
get
way.
with some ladies his own age.
Yeah, I really liked the scene when Darren and Craig were in the car waiting together. Like you could see the difference
Yeah.
in their personalities, and also just Craig's back to doing blow wherever, whenever, getting
Oh, yeah.
pumped up.
Yeah.
All the
Some
time
heavy
in the
metal
car.
music. Yeah. so funny.
Best part.
Yeah. There was one line in there though when they were talking about Baz.
Yeah.
And yes, Baz and the whole Catherine situation about her leaving. And they were going back and forth about it. And somebody said, was it Craig that said maybe he knows the kid is his?
No, it was Darren said it to Craig.
Darren said it to Craig.
They were talking about Lucy.
Lucy's kid. So, do we think?
That Lucy's kid is Baz's?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be so
Maybe.
twisted because Lena is Pope's,
Right.
Right, and then like the other kid. I think he probably knows. Yeah, I think you have to think that he knows. He definitely acts when he's there with her and treats that kid like very, very fatherly, much more than he ever like seems to act with Alina.
Right, and he definitely doesn't act that way with Jay if he's Jay's father.
Oh, I don't think he's Jay's. I think
so
that's been written off completely.
Yeah, I didn't really think that he was. I mean, they like teased at it.
Right.
But like, are they going to go down that road again? Like, are they really going to like ask the question again? Because I feel like they kind of asked it, and I mean, I don't know.
No, it'd be cool to see Jay's dad be someone just completely new in the second season that they introduced that just throws the family off completely.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That definitely would be interesting.
Maybe played by like Danny McBride or something. No, just kidding.
So do you think them taking, Craig and Darren I'm talking about, taking the semi, and actually the guy sees who they are, so he sees their faces, he can ID them.
Yep.
Do you think that's going to come back to haunt them?
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that and Vin being alive, I think both of those are loose ends. Big time.
Right.
Big time.
Right.
I think Vin even more so, maybe. I mean, the guy in the truck, that's a loose end, like, this is obvious. This guy saw your face. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Vin is just like, you beat the guy almost to death, and he's a guy that went to prison, so, like, it's not exactly like he's scared to fight back, you know what I mean? You beat him almost to death. Like, he knows where you guys live. What are you doing?
They should have just gotten rid of him.
Yeah,
but Pope, Mr. Good Samaritan.
I had a feeling. I knew he wasn't going to.
Oh, for sure.
He wasn't going to let it go.
Then again, we all thought that Nikki was lying and Craig, and that wasn't really happening.
Right?
And she
That's
definitely
true.
wasn't lying.
Definitely wasn't lying.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hair flip.
Yeah. Big time.
Ultimate hair flip.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the chat, Cal Porter says Vin didn't deserve to get beaten up. Yeah, he didn't. But obviously Smurf knew what she was doing, setting him up.
I mean, he didn't deserve to get beaten up that bad. He came to the house and, like, threatened, so like, he kind of did deserve to be beaten up a little bit. Yeah,
he was
can't,
shady.
You can't pull that move, and he pulled that move. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that he deserved to be beaten almost to death. He looked pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Pretty
I thought the Baz was actually going to finish him, but
Finished the job.
yeah, he didn't. So
I guess that by the end of the season, the only major character death was Catherine. Is that right?
That's it, yeah.
yeah.
Huh. It's like a
I
fairly.
expected more.
It's a fairly major character to die in the second to last episode. I think we talked about early in the season. They almost always die in the 9th.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I mean, because I don't think you were going to kill any of the leads. That's something that happens later, probably. Like one of the leads dies, but even that's sort of hard to imagine. It changes the dynamic of the family so drastically if you kill any of the brothers that you know, I just can't see it right. Like, I just don't imagine it happening.
Right. And was it you that predicted that Alexa was going to get killed?
Yeah, I was always saying she was going to
I thought she was going to die too. I mean, she's just
Right.
going to prison, which is pretty bad. That was a pretty sassy move on Jay's part
That
to pull the whole move.
was.
Starting with the banana sass, like we were like, where's the sass?
Sass was flying.
Yeah, we were like, where's the sass gonna come from? And Jay's just like, I'm gonna eat this banana on my bike and like throw the peel in the driveway.
Right,
It's like on the ground. I was like,
threw it on the ground.
I was like,
Whatever.
yeah, whatever.
Whatevs. Exactly.
I'll see you in the
Over
classroom.
it.
But yeah, Alexa gets taken off to jail. So I guess is it for the fact that she slept with Jay, or is this the whole heroin charge?
I think it's just the whole heroin
charge.
thing, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the heroin charge because she didn't play along.
No, because if she were to go to jail for sleeping with Jay,
People
the
would
detective
know.
would go down too.
Right,
Did you
that's
think?
true.
Did you think that she deserved to go down, or do you like because?
Alexa?
Yeah, because she slept. I mean, she had already slept with Jay, but she again agreed to sleep with Jay because the cops were like, you should and you get out of the charge, and then which was totally not honest at all. And then Jay got her to admit it, which is why she got in trouble, and Jay was able to get off the hook. So
Right.
did you think that because she played along with the cops to try to incriminate Jay that she deserved to go down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did. And
Not
I mean,
even a question.
yeah, I think it was just so smart of Jay to record that conversation.
Yeah, of course.
Even before he told Smurf, right? About
Yeah.
the whole situation. So
He had his own little
he
plan
did,
going
and
on.
you know, I think we talked about this last episode when we were like, we think he's kind of on to something, like his own thing. And I think people in the comments on YouTube also said the same thing. They're like, you know, he's definitely got his own thing going on. that
Right.
We'll figure out soon enough. So
Alina, Kamal Porter wants you to know that you say my name wrong every time, but I'll let you slide because you're beautiful.
oh, Kamal Porter.
Unless
So
you're
smooth.
unless you're talking about me saying your name wrong every time, which is cool, but
He's definitely referring to
Kamal
you.
Porter. Hopefully that's right. Let's see. Brandon Self says, I actually kind of felt bad for Alexa.
a little bit.
Only a little bit, though,
I
he
didn't.
says.
Right.
Only a little bit.
No.
she's gonna go down. It's going down for real.
You bought the drugs, girl. You going to jail.
Yeah. So about Jay and the detectives, and even bringing it back to Pope, because Pope we see had kind of an incident with Smurf.
Right.
When he comes in and he's like, well, Jay was talking. Maybe it was Jay that was talking. And now Smurf is really, I don't know, trying to convince him that they were both talking. How did you guys feel about that whole scene? Do you think she was convincing enough to him?
No, I think like Pope. I think everybody kind of has their suspicions in the family.
Right.
Everybody suspects something's going on, and I think Smurf is like trying to weave a lot of lies, and I think she's getting caught in him a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think Pope has a lot of hate in his heart for Smurf. I think he like there's definitely the Oedipus thing, like he wants to have sex with his mom. But there's also the whole just like, I want to kill you at the same time. Did you guys for a second there, just for a second at the end, when they were getting all intense, think they were going to start kissing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, I really did.
No, I didn't
I'm
even,
not
that didn't
kidding,
even
I
like
did. I thought
cross
it was
my
like one of those
mind.
like weird tension things
Yeah.
where they just like go at
And they're getting all close, and I was like, are we going to go there right now?
It's like,
Wow.
okay.
No,
Yeah.
that didn't even cross my mind. How funny.
I was like, it is Animal Kingdom, like
Yeah.
while watching.
I think I've kind of put the whole incestuous thing out of my mind now, knowing the characters, now
Right.
that the characters have, evolved over the season. And I see kind of where Pope was coming from. And once you see like their dynamic,
Yeah.
some of the stuff is definitely awkward and abnormal, but I don't think it went down like that. So
It's weird that that they haven't been pushing the incest thing after
Right,
the
they
first
They
haven't.
marketed
No.
it like that heavily.
yeah, especially the first few episodes were very
big time. Big
very
time.
much like that.
Yeah,
and then
and-
it kind of laid off.
Yeah, I wonder if that was like just like an artistic decision. They were just like, we don't need to go down that road so much. It's out there. If we want to use it again, we can.
Right.
But it was definitely every episode for the first 3 or 4 were kind of like that.
Because it was even uncomfortable at times.
Yeah,
like watching
definitely.
Oh,
it.
not gonna watch that part. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
thought it was interesting though that Pope and Baz have the tension with Kath, and then we find out that there's also tension because Smurf prefers one over the other.
Yeah.
Right.
So Brandon Self here says Pope's speech was great. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That guy, Sean Hattasey, is a phenomenal actor. Like,
Yeah, he is.
And this is like what happened when I talked to him about it. Right? I was kind of like, you're the guy that gets that role. You get like the Emmy role because like he just gets all this great material, and then
Yeah.
that moment at the end was just fantastic. He started to break at one point when he's talking to her, and it was just like right when he breaks, it was just like, wow, this guy's really, really talented.
Yes,
Super
yes.
good actor. Very impressive.
I bought it through and through.
Yeah.
And you actually felt how he was feeling, like,
Every single
Yeah.
emotion, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, now we know that Baz is Smurf's favorite, and even Pope knows. I think it's kind of like a known
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like the unofficial son that's loved more.
Yeah.
Just because he's good looking.
Just Livia Lowe
It's kind of
says.
the brains behind everything too, I think.
Livia Lowe says Nikki and Craig are so cringy, and then Kosi Agama
Yeah.
says Craig plus Nikki equals yuck.
Agree.
Girl, yes.
So here's the question: like
it's weird as a hell.
Yes.
Finn Cole in real life is like, I think he must be like 5'9", 5'8", 5'10". I mean, he seemed like he's a very
pretty
slight
short guy,
dude.
yeah.
And Craig Robson's like 6'5".
Yeah.
He's like huge.
Right.
So like I'm trying to imagine like the part in the show where they get pissed and like actually get into it, have like a physical altercation. There's no way they could sell that on the show if even
No.
remotely even, right? Like
No.
Craig would just demolish
No.
No.
it, right?
He would just like pick him up and throw him across the room.
Unless
He's
like
so much bigger.
unless Jay like gets him sleeping and like ties his hands and feet or something like that, just like beats him,
Right.
maybe.
Or
Well, Jay's
shoots
got the
him.
gun now.
Yeah.
Oh
But I
yeah.
don't think he's going
But
to be
the guys
that.
also have a gun.
But
That
I don't think he's
aggressive,
going to
yeah.
be that aggressive, especially like with Nikki and Craig.
Yeah,
It's
Livia
not
Lowe,
that
Shauna
serious.
Stoll in the series, totally agree. Best actor on the show.
Absolutely. Let's see, Kamal Porter. Did I pronounce it right? This show is all kinds of creepy, but so good. I can't wait until 2017.
cannot wait long
Absolutely. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? The cops arrest teacher. Oh, let's talk about Paul.
Yeah, right?
Goodness, he like grew some balls of steel.
Well, he
apparently,
tried
or
to.
tried to.
No, definitely tried.
He
to
tried.
Is the key word
He tried.
there.
I was not expecting him to come just, kind of balls out and tell
Yeah.
Smurf, yeah, I want more of this cut. And be so brazen about it, like he runs the joint.
But
Yeah,
he's an
crazy.
idiot for doing that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just all gonna blow up in his face.
The gun is definitely going to be used on Craig. That's what the whole show's about.
Right, yeah. Gun and Craig.
With Paul, I sort of feel like he understands the scope of this family a little bit. Like a little bit. Like he understands that they're smart and they're like a crime family. But I don't think he actually understands the scope of the family. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think he really gets it. He got played a little bit, kind of thought he was on the inside. And I think that moment when he was like, yeah, I want to be respected, I need more money. And then I think there was a little bit of a minute of just like, I'm in over my head here. Because that's why he leaves his daughter there. Just like, I got nothing. Like
Completely.
You know what I mean? I'm every bit as in trouble as these guys if we all get caught.
And Smurf let him know it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell
Like
yeah,
she
did.
just, I love her character.
Yeah, she's good.
Because she just puts people in place.
Yeah.
Like, puts them in check. And
she's
Paul needed to
ahead
be
of the
put in
game
check.
all the time.
Completely.
Yeah.
She's always ahead of the game. And I mean, I thought it was kind of dumb for even Paul to show up at their house.
Well, he's been so dumb the whole time.
Yeah, he has calling, showing up at the house. Like you don't know who's watching.
Holding
you don't
off
know.
on the
Right.
delivery and everything.
Which I mean, kind of amazed me. Not the holding off on the delivery. Once he said that, I kind of was like, oh, okay,
Makes
I get
sense,
that.
right?
But just him being so aggressive with the communication with them. He's a military guy. He should know better.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Smarter.
Exactly, smarter than that. So I don't know if I quite buy that. Did you?
But that's why
I
he's
bought that.
has the suckiest job in the
Yeah,
military.
that's why he's like a
Yeah.
money manager in the military. He's not actually like a badass,
Right.
you know what I mean?
If you put
Yeah.
Paul out on the front lines, he would be the first out. That's how stupid he is.
That's how it's gonna go down with him.
He's just
Yeah.
like Paul is like he's just like a very clear character. He's like a guy who's always wanted to be, you know, respected and cool and a hot shot. And like he ended up, you know, joining the military and just like getting assigned this like kind of crappy job where he wants to feel really important by having classified documents and, you know, but like he wants to drive fast cars and be one of the cool
Right.
kids. And so I think there's a little bit of the sense like it's the same way that anybody gets pulled and drawn into this family. It's a bunch, you know, it's a bunch of surfer guys and skaters and extreme sports guys.
Right.
And they're all super handsome and confident.
They
have-
lounge by the pool and their mom cooks for them.
they have tons of money, and Smurf's the coolest mom. And,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Paul's
we'll
in.
see what happens with Paul. I think he's in way over his head.
Right.
It's not going to
And
end well for Paul next
do you
season.
Think that he'll get his 150,000 cut, or do you think it'll just be exactly what they had agreed on before, or does he even get the cut? Does something happen to him?
I don't think anything happens to him, especially because like Nikki's like in their house now.
Right.
So I don't think they're gonna like kill Nikki's dad unless they
Right.
had to. But I'll bet you they give him 100. I'll bet you they give him 100 straight up.
Right.
Yeah, because what's he gonna do?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. He has no pull, really.
Yeah,
Now,
totally.
especially now that they have the money. Beforehand,
Well, and his daughter, which like,
The money
Yeah.
and the daughter.
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Random thought: how much is TNT paying the Chrysler Company to use their vehicles in the show? Craig and Darren make me want to go buy a Ram.
True.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Wasn't Baz's car?
Product placement.
Was it a Camaro?
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. So
Yeah.
product placement. Good eye on the product
I didn't even
placement.
notice that.
Yeah.
Big time.
Very, very, very much.
A lot of cash came out of that.
Yeah. I love how they hid the cash in the pool.
Oh
in the
my
pool
god,
filter.
that was genius.
Because, like, who would think to go down there? Of course, they're going to search the whole house.
Right.
And probably tear it down like Yates wanted to. But you don't ever really think of going
Searching
in the pool.
under the pool.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
even
exactly,
think
the
that
drain.
they put it there because we see Smurf like lock a door and then come outside with Lena, which I was like, oh, she probably hid it in like some weird like safe that they have inside the house.
And
But
what
no.
is that area under the pool? Is that like
It's
that
the drain.
It just
It was just a
believe.
drain? I mean, or is that like some special,
Maybe.
like a special area they had like designed in the pool? Maybe that's what it is.
It's a big drain. I know in my pool it's not that big. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big
Right.
thing.
it's probably a Smurf designed.
Smurf design.
thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, which is brilliant again on Smurf's part.
Right.
I just love how they had everything figured out before the raid happened.
Right.
And it's like they didn't have to leave the house to hide money somewhere because obviously they were probably being watched.
Yeah.
It was just able to go down all right in there, and they were so calm and confident.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes was sweet.
Yeah.
It was like,
Just
yeah.
chilling. What was that line that she gave the cops?
Oh,
when they
she says, are you going to charge my grandson? Because it's almost dinner time. Yeah. Talk about sass.
Yes.
Ah.
Now we know
Best.
where Darren gets his sass from.
Yeah, right?
She's the
Smurf.
queen of sass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely got a lot.
Love it. Oh, people are saying, yeah, Nikki needs to go.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
What are you doing, Nikki? Get out of there. What are you doing, Craig? Get out of there.
Yeah, she's doing Craig.
Yeah,
That's
Craig
what
really,
she's doing.
Craig really let me down this episode.
He
Yeah.
did. I didn't think he'd have
I thought he had higher druggy expectations for his women, not
Right.
high school teenage.
Well,
He's
she
like,
won't,
I can train this one. It's
she
all
won't.
good.
She won't last. So,
No.
yeah.
I give her an OD pretty soon.
So
Oh, no, I
speaking
hope
of
not.
speaking of Smurf, let's
yeah,
talk
let's
about.
Smurf and the big reveal, because we weren't sure whether she killed. I can't remember the character's name. The guy who was
dude
her
from the picture.
right.
Just call him her stepdad, I guess.
Something, yeah.
Something-ish, that guy. So she didn't kill him the first time she went up, and she actually goes back and kills him.
Right. Just been eating her up, I guess.
Yeah. I think it was eating her up ever since she talked to Pope. And Pope was like, you're more disturbed than I am.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think that really got to her. And she
Yeah.
was like, she probably pondered on it and was like, why am I so disturbed?
Right.
That whole scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the flashback. Yeah, for sure, big time. I sort of feel like that stuff, like, while it's interesting to get the backstory on Smurf, I have to say it wasn't a storyline that I found to be that interesting. Like, I guess I didn't need it to. I mean, it's important to know, I guess, where she came from. It makes her character definitely deeper.
Right.
But I didn't feel like it did as much for the story as probably that was supposed to be as far as the reveal goes. Do you know what I mean?
Like we should have had more of a backstory for it to be important.
No, like
or-
I didn't feel like it didn't feel that necessary to me. Like it was like they were trying to do something more than just have her be like the matriarchal I run shit character. And I think that's fine. Like I didn't dislike it. It just was like I don't know. It didn't do as much for me as I think maybe they were expecting. Maybe it's just me personally though. Kind of just felt like
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It wasn't super compelling. I mean, it was kind of nice to know why she is the way she is a
Yeah.
little bit, but
Yeah.
if maybe in season 2 they'll expand a little bit more on like what happens to her after that and how she deals with life, and I think that would be
Exactly.
interesting.
definitely. Brandon Self says if Nikki ends up pregnant, she needs to die. Well,
I could see Nikki ending up pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah, right?
that would throw
yeah, she
everything
seems a little
off.
careless. So.
oh god. And then they have
Just
the
like,
baby.
oh no.
Oh jeez.
They would never have the baby. They would have the baby.
No.
Oh my god. I wouldn't
goodness.
know what to do.
Oh Lord.
No, Smurf already can barely tolerate Lena.
Yeah. Did you think? No, I think Smurf loves Lena.
No, Smurf. Yeah, Smurf.
Well,
loves-
she
Smurf
loves
loves.
Lena now until, as we've heard before, she gets older.
So she becomes a woman. But Smurf will be like 80 by then. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Lena.
Smurf
Well,
will
no,
be
that's
like-
not true. That's not true. In the show, Smurf's probably supposed to be like 56,
Yeah.
55, and Lena's probably supposed to be like 6.
Yeah.
So I guess by
Or
the,
like 70s.
she'll be like in
She'll
her
still be running
she'll still be
things.
kicking.
Yeah, exactly.
Still be looking fantastic.
Does.
Yeah, she really takes
She
great care
is
of herself.
gold.
Oh my god.
Speaking of backstory, we got a little bit of backstory when Jay tells off Yates.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I was not expecting that to come through at all. And I loved how there was a connection between him and Yates, and he was able to remember that, and he didn't lead on or anything like that until that moment where
Yeah.
it was just so poignant and so good.
So Yates definitely has it out for this family, big time,
just
big
for
time.
this
But we don't
family.
know why, right? We still don't know why, or there was like her partner died or something. We haven't got any kind of reveal yet, right?
Don't know why,
We
but we
definitely need
speculated that
backstory.
it has to be something pretty deep.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And
'cause-
obviously, if he was a baby when she started this with
Yeah.
his mom, I mean, there's got to be something there.
has to be.
But what is it?
She's been chasing the Codys for like a decade.
Maybe the Codys did something to like her parents.
Right, maybe. That's what
And
I
this
guess.
is like the ultimate revenge, is to get them.
Her
That's what I would
parents,
guess.
or when she was in school or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she'll be kicking around in the show for a while. But she'll definitely die in season 2 or 3.
Oh, I hope so.
They'll kill her for sure.
For sure.
Season 2, please.
She's
'cause
not going to be
she's
like
really
she's not
annoying.
going to be like the arch nemesis for no way. She'll keep
Right.
going after him, and I think she'll get close, and then it'll be like something in the field, and she'll just get killed. She'll just get capped, and that'll
Right.
be. And then there's a cop dead, and that's going to be like a big thing. That's like I suspect that a couple seasons down the line.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Another thing, I just want to wrap back around to Baz. Him talking to Lena and really trying to get all that information out of Lena.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about that?
I thought it was supposed to be exactly what it was, which is like he gets close, but
Right.
he doesn't quite get there, and then he kind of lets it go, and that like I don't think we'll ever hear about like that angle again. Like, I don't think Lena's ever gonna remember, but I think it was supposed to like plant that seed in his head for a second.
Do you think Baz is ever going to figure out that it's Pope? I was kind of expecting him to like.
Not in
I
this
think
episode.
maybe not in this episode, but to start putting like the pieces of the puzzle together. I have a feeling he will eventually.
Find out? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be like a
Eventually,
big...
yeah.
That'd be like a big thing. I mean, like, I always find that interesting because you'll see in great shows, I mean... Breaking Bad spoiler right now for anybody who hasn't watched it. Sorry. There's basically like a character that dies that another character watches die, and that character that watches the character die holds on to that information for I think like 2 seasons or longer, maybe 3 seasons or something. It's like seriously something that like years and years later in the show. Gets revealed in this like poignant moment. Have you guys never watched that show?
No.
Oh my god!
I know.
I
I'm
don't
from
plan on
Albuquerque,
watching it,
so
just
I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I started watching it, and I am going to watch it because I know it's good TV.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where
Yeah.
it's literally years later, and like this character has that information, and he's like, "I watched her die," and you're like, "What? What? Now? That information
coming
still
up?
matters?"
Right.
Right? I kind of feel like that's you never
this
know.
could be it?
Yeah, maybe that could
Something?
be. That's like a big
Maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
Turns out Lena opened her eyes and saw
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pope digging the grave.
Let's see. Brandon Self says Bad had a pretty good moment with telling Smurf off too.
Did he?
A little bit.
He did a little
I don't
bit
know.
because I mean she was going after him like, look, Kath is never coming back. She left you. She packed
Yeah.
her bag. She took her passport. And I mean, he did say like she would never leave Lena in the house by,
was right.
and that was so true.
Yeah.
That was a very
Speaking of
careless
which,
move on their
how
part.
did Lena get to? I guess they didn't show this part. How did Lena get to Smurf's house? Because somebody would have to pick her up because she wasn't there when Baz.
She
went-
was there when Baz
Yeah,
went
she
to
was
the
there.
house.
When Baz
yeah.
goes home,
Okay, then that makes
she's
So she
sense.
goes
sleeping.
to, he's like, Kath, and then he looks in and Lena's still asleep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally forgot about that.
You're
Let's
good.
see. Kosi says, I just don't see why Smurf would prefer Baz over her sons. He sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because he's like the good-looking bad boy that she took in.
Baz kind of does suck. He's like
He
kind
does,
of.
but I
does.
think she prefers him over his sons because if you think about it, like he doesn't have a drug problem
Right.
like Craig does. He's not super emo like
Yeah.
Darren.
He's super emo. Yeah.
Pope, you know, when he's on his meds, he's good, but
Yeah, he's a little
when he's
crazy.
not, yeah. And I kind of think that's why, like, he's the head, not the head honcho, but he's able to figure out plans and implement them and make them work.
Definitely.
And he's a little bit better at covering his tracks. than
He's also
rest
the
of them.
least sassy of all.
Exactly.
The least
yeah.
sassy. So like I feel like Smurf probably loves
He
that
just
about him.
internalizes
Exactly.
all his anger,
Yeah.
though.
Exactly.
He actually just emotes correctly and like talks respectfully,
Right.
and isn't just like sassy, which
Right.
everyone else in the family seems to have like a
So
lot of sass.
Well, that's because he was welcomed into the family.
Yeah, right.
So he
Right.
doesn't, I would assume part of him doesn't feel as comfortable.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Baz is her protege in a way.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Totally.
Whereas the others are just kind of like the workhorses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys think that it was super lame that Craig was just like, okay, we took the money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Except that I would totally, if I was him, I would have done it too, because it's like she was gonna make him go on like a wild goose chase. She totally
Yeah,
knew that they had
she
the
knew.
money immediately.
She knew.
Yeah, we all
I
knew.
guess now
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go to the recycling center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have we figured out what their allowance is? Like how much do they get a month? Because they get paid once a month.
I think
from
it's
her?
just their
like
their
just
salary would
enough.
be if
If
they
they
were
were-
actually in real estate.
Got it.
Because
building
we saw her
managers.
give Baz the check last
So that's
time.
why they're always trying to lift some money.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
cash. They're always
Yeah.
trying to get extra on the side, which is like, but she just like doesn't trust them to be smart enough to not just overspend. Is that the
Yeah,
deal?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because then it would draw more attention to the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's
All of a
totally.
sudden you have
she's
all this
totally
stuff.
right.
Or, you know, Darren's just all of a sudden investing in all kinds of stocks.
Running for
with
Congress,
cash.
buying
Yeah,
a condo,
exactly.
right? Well, I mean, Pope's like demanding his 150. What's he gonna do? Right?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's talk about that. What do you think he's going to do?
I would
mean-
not put it past him to just put Smurf in a really violent, scary situation. Or he just turns on her and maybe like brings out a gun or something or kidnaps her.
Really?
Wow.
I
Wild.
could see because you saw all the anger that he had.
Yeah.
He's sick of it. He's sick of her pushing him around, and he's finally going to stand up for himself. And
Maybe. I think they all still have that wanting to have sex with their mom complex. I think as much as he hates her, I don't think.
I mean, he loved
Yeah.
Kath, and he still
He's pissed.
Yeah.
was willing to
She's
kill her.
definitely
So
like alpha dog in the pack, and I don't
Yeah.
think that they'd go against her. I can't see
No.
it happening.
I don't see
really,
it happening.
No.
with that moment, I'm going to be alone here, but I could totally see Pope doing it.
I could see him maybe trying to leave with the, threatening to leave with
Right.
his 150,000.
Big time. Yeah.
Oh, maybe take
And maybe
Lena with
taking
him.
Lena with him. That's kind of what I think. But
That'd be interesting.
Pope's like the
Yes.
guy that gets out in the end. it's like his story in the end. Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Spin off.
After he built that fountain,
Yeah.
so finally we know he's building a fountain. I don't
But
know,
what was
to get
this,
Zen.
like? Was there symbolism behind that I missed?
I know,
that
that's
you
what I
guys
was
got?
wondering, because it was such a like prominent thing that he was doing all season.
He kept smashing.
Yeah.
He was like destroying something and then like build. I was like, when he was like laying the brick, I was like, is he just like laying brick and smashing it? Is that what he's doing? Just like letting it dry and then smashing it with a hammer and just like laying it again? I was like, couldn't quite figure out. Yeah. But anyway, should we get into predictions?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
predictions.
There it is.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, Kamal Porter, how come the Codys don't have a dog or something? Like, would you think a family like that would have a pet?
Yeah.
What would their pet be? Would it be like,
Like
what
a
kind
pit
of...
bull or something.
It'd be a pit
A
bull?
German Shepherd.
Yeah, or a German Shepherd.
Seems like it. Like, they
Yeah.
wouldn't have like a cat.
No.
They wouldn't have like an orange cat, a tabby.
A cute little fat cat.
Yeah.
No,
Darren would have
No
a sassy
chihuahuas.
cat, though, if anyone had a
Yeah,
cat.
Darren
It
would
be
have... That's
Darren.
exactly what it'd be. Darren would have a cat.
I love Darren.
Yeah, and Craig would have like a pit bull
Yeah.
or something like that. Baz would be getting pissed. He wouldn't have any animal. He'd getting pissed off constantly.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Lena would love. Lena would love. No, Lena wouldn't love either of those. There would have to be a third animal for Lena to love.
Maybe like a
Like a
chihuahua.
lab or
Like a chihuahua, maybe.
Yeah.
Who would have a chihuahua?
Smurf would.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would.
Or there's some part of me that thinks that maybe Craig would have a chihuahua.
Just as like a weird.
Just cause. And he would just like think it was really cute. Yeah.
Maybe.
It'd be like the weird thing people give him crap for.
Yeah.
He just blows up on them.
Yeah. But it would probably be a pit bull.
Yeah.
More predictable.
Most likely.
I love it. I love
And he
it.
would like name it like Harley or something like that.
Been tough.
Yeah. Killer, yeah.
All right, let's get into predictions. Go
Oh,
for
me
it,
first.
Leslie.
Oh, geez, time to turn my brain on. I would say, I think just based off of the last scene that we saw, I don't think Jay will completely turn on them, but I think he's going to try to get away from the family in the same way that I think Pope is also going to try to do that. Maybe they team up together because we did see a little Jay and Pope chemistry. So
Yeah, that's
Right.
fair.
Right.
I'm keeping it general and broad. That's it.
I kind of think we're going to start to see like Pope pull away from the family. Like I think that Pope, I don't even know if he's going to team up with Jay. I just think like we might see a little bit more of this being Pope's story. Like he does seem to sort of be like, he does seem to be the one who has a more of like a heart of gold, but really has to do the dirty work, and he's just like a product of his environment in the most sad possible way. And that maybe the show starts to move more in the direction of it being like about him, you know, and his redemption. Because I feel
Right.
like Jay, I don't know how good Jay is really going to stay. He kind of feels like he's on the edge of staying good, but he also just feels like he's turning bad.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, you know?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
definitely. What was the hashtag for the show? Like bad as bread.
Bad as bread, yeah.
Exactly. I feel like he's turning bad. You can just see now that he's getting away with so many different things.
Yeah.
Once you like cross that line, it's kind of hard to go back because you know what you can get away with.
He was screwing his teacher and he sent her to jail.
Yeah.
Got away with whatever he wanted.
Ain't
So-
nothing getting past.
Oh yeah,
Savage.
We are gonna get Robinson on the show next
Oh,
season.
that's a goal.
Yes,
That's
that is
happening.
a goal of ours.
I don't know how that didn't happen
It's
this
like
season.
go Kosi.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, for predictions, I still think something like with the watch is gonna come back.
Right.
There's just so
Oh,
many
we never
loose
heard
ends.
about that again.
There's so many loose ends that they never tied up, and I don't know. Maybe it'll take a couple of seasons for all of it to unravel. And
Oh my God, Nikki's gonna get addicted to drugs, kicked out of
Yes.
the house, and she's gonna try to pawn the watch, and the watch is gonna get picked up.
Yes.
And it's
that's
all gonna come full circle.
Exactly.
I think that's how the
Or she gets addicted to drugs, and yeah, pawns the watch.
pawns the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 2 is gonna
Figure it
start
out.
with her like stumbling down a street, and she's like homeless, and she's like, you know, or whatever. She's like trying to score, and she has no money, and she's gonna try to pawn the watch, and that's
Right.
gonna kick off season 2.
I could see that.
There we go.
Right? Right?
The
Yeah.
watch is gonna come back. Mark
Has
my
to.
words.
If John Wells puts out an episode, you get royalties.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's wild.
There you go. All right. Overall, great season, great show.
Amazing show.
Yes.
Yeah, really good first season.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Absolutely.
Craig
so
will kill Nikki. Maybe.
could be. Pope and Baz will have best friends, says Lori Best.
Oh, I don't
Will be
know about
best
that
friends.
one.
Ooh, I don't know.
That's a big out there prediction for
Yeah,
sure.
I think Pope is gonna try to keep his distance.
I think
He's
so
gonna keep
too.
his distance
I
for
think so,
Yeah.
too.
Because that's a little touchy of a subject.
Yeah, because he saw what happened to Vin too, and he's just like, he didn't deserve that. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So yeah, that's it for
We're
this
done.
show. Where can the people find you?
You want to go first?
Guys, you can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Twitter and Instagram. Tweet me, let me know what you thought about the season. Follow me on, I do Action Movie Anatomy on the Popcorn Talk Network. It's like this action movie talk show I've done for like 65 episodes. It's a lot of fun. And then you can find me doing other red carpets and stuff as well.
Check this guy out. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at In Less Than No Time.
And you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything at Alina Vision. And that's Vision with 2 S's. And we just want to say thank you to everyone who's in the live chat and who watches and listens to us on iTunes. We love seeing your guys' comments. And don't forget to like and comment on this one. And we'll see you guys next season for season 2.
We'll
It's going to be
here.
so good.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.